Welcome back. Now, while at our live event, assuming that we want to capture a payment for individuals while there, we can choose any of the mobile applications that we've discussed in order to charge them for a purchase of products or services. We're going to click on the Pay Now application. We're going to authenticate, and then you'll notice that we have our charge available to us. What we'll need to do then is we'll need to email the individual for a receipt. And in this case, we'll use that customer email. In the case of the charge application, we'll be able to place the name and email address of the individual inside of the charge. In the case of the payment application, what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to assign a specific product. We'll then be able to assign that product to a specific customer. And then we'll be able to enter the customer's card number so that they make the purchase through Stripe. Now, as is the case with any application you use, you do want to make sure that you do your personal due diligence so that you know which app is going to be safe for your mobile device and that it fits well with your business. The three that we've looked at in this video are actually 3 apps of many applications that you can use in association with Stripe. So find the one that's safest for you and then find the one that fits the best with what you may be trying to do at a live event. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, one thing you can do is to integrate Stripe with your autoresponder so that every purchase made through Stripe, you can have a person added to your email marketing list. So to do that, you are going to need to use Zapier. And so what we're going to do is we're going to first write in Stripe. Then we're also going to choose our autoresponder. And we see now that we have a Zap available to us. We can add new customers to get response when they purchase with Stripe. So what we're going to do is we're going to click Connect Stripe and Get Response. So what we want the trigger to be is when there is a new charge. So we're going to click that link and click Save and Continue. We're then going to send the test to our Stripe account. Once we verify that it's been successful, we're then going to click Save and Continue. We are not going to include the failed charges, and we're going to click Continue. We're going to need a sample charge to set up the Zap, and then we're going to connect to our Get Response account. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a contact when there is a purchase. And once we've connected our Get Response account, what we're going to do is we're going to select a specific list, and then we're going to set up the rest of the identifying information. We're then going to send the test to Get Response. Once we verify that our test has been sent, we're then going to click Finish. We're then going to name the connection. Once we do that, we're then going to turn our Zap on. And what we've done now is so that whenever there is a purchase inside of our Stripe account, that person is then going to be added to our email marketing list. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, one of the other things that you may want to do is when there is a purchase in your Stripe account, you may want to have the individuals added to a webinar so that you might be able to either record a counseling session or create one-on-one training. And you can create that automated integration in Zapier. So what you're going to do first is you're going to start with an app. And naturally, first, you're going to start with Stripe. Now, you can also then connect Stripe to your GoToWebinar account, or in some cases, it may even be more appropriate to connect to GoToMeeting. If you use Zoom and not GoToWebinar, you can also connect Stripe to your Zoom account. In this case, we're going to connect Stripe to our GoToMeeting so that when there is a new charge created, we want to have a meeting created inside of GoToMeeting. And then we want to connect those two applications. So what we'll first do is we will then connect our Stripe account. We will not then include failed charges, and then continue. We'll use the test charge for Stripe, and then we'll connect GoToMeeting. We'll then click GoToMeeting to create a meeting. We'll then need to connect our GoToMeeting account. We'll then test our connection to GoToMeeting. Once it is successful, we'll then click Save and Continue. Once we've added our information to the template, we will then click Continue. We'll then send our test to GoToMeeting. And once our test is complete, we can then click Finish. We'll then name our integration, and then we'll turn on our automation. And so now what we've done is that every charge that comes through our Stripe account, we will then have that person added automatically to a GoToMeeting where we can set up a counseling session. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another. Welcome back. Now, Stripe will allow you to set up a subscription payment for an individual that is your customer inside of Stripe. And to do that, you're going to go to the customer area. You're then going to click inside of that customer. If you scroll down, you're going to see toward the middle of the screen that there is a subscription area. What you're going to do is you're going to click Add Subscription. In order to do this, what you're going to do is you're going to add in a product. Now, if you don't have your subscription product, you're going to go ahead and click this link to add the product. Once you do that, you're then going to click Create Product. What you're then going to do is you're going to set your quantity. In this case, we're going to set the price at $77 monthly. We're going to forego a trial period, and we're going to click Add Pricing Plan. What we're now going to do is we're going to step back to our customer area, and we're going to click now Add a Product. We're going to see our product that we can click. That product is then added. Now, if the customer has a payment source on file, we'll be able to bill them on a monthly basis. However, we are in test mode, so the customer currently doesn't have a payment source on file. So we're going to set this up to send invoices to the customer to pay manually every month. And so we're going to click this link. We're going to set it so that the payment needs to be made 1 day after the invoice is sent. And then once we have all our information in, we're then going to click Start Subscription. And then the customer is then subscribed to the product in Stripe as long as they make the payment. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another. In conclusion, we've now walked through a number of practical examples of how you use Stripe in combination with certain third-party applications, as well as the kinds of basic functions you may encounter in your business every day. We've been able to bypass the limitations of Stripe's integrations by using third-party application Zapier. We've also looked at plugins connected to WordPress. Now, it's important to note that if you're working with the integrations on the Stripe website, or whether you're looking at some of those mentioned in this course or some of those connected by Zapier, you must do your due diligence to make sure that the application you're using is going to be safe with respect to your business. It's also important to note that you are working with the sensitive payment information of your customers. And as a result, you'll need to make sure that you're taking every precaution to make sure that privacy is protected. So as you start to determine which applications are going to be best, make sure to take into account user reviews as well as business fit. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I'll see you either in another video or in another course. Welcome back. You are now looking at the inside of the dashboard of WordPress.com. And if you have a website that you're using with WordPress, you can integrate Stripe into your pages and posts. And the way you're going to do that is going to be to find an appropriate plugin. And what you're going to do is you're going to click Add New. Now, if you get to the plugin screen, you're going to be able to place a word into the keyword area. And if you start by typing in Stripe, you're going to get a certain number of results. However, you may want to use a search term that's going to be more specific depending on what you want to do. So for example, if you're going to use donations, you're going to want to write in Stripe donations. And you're going to find plugins where you can use Stripe to take donations. However, if you use the search term Stripe subscriptions, you're going to find a different number of results. If you use the term Stripe membership, you'll see yet a different level of results. What you're going to find with all of these results is that there's going to be a free version and a paid version. Typically, if you're going to want to offer recurring payments on your website, you will have to pay additional for the privilege of being able to do that. Access using these plugins will typically require you to get your API keys from your Stripe account. You can find those API keys in your dashboard by going to the developer section and then clicking on this link that says API keys, where you'll be able to get access to your test keys as well as your live active keys. Once you've gone through the setup process for the appropriate plugin, you're typically going to have to know how to place a shortcode. And that is the case with the plugin that you're looking at on your screen right now. And when you are inside of your WordPress installation, what you'll need to do is you'll need to add a block. And typically what that means is you're going to have to find the shortcode block. You'll see that here in this widget. You're going to click on that shortcode, and then you're going to need to place that shortcode here inside of this dialog box. So the process will start with you finding the most appropriate plugin for what it is you want to do, and you'll do that by typing in Stripe and then the search keyword that you want to use. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, if you choose to use WordPress and Stripe together, one of the most important aspects of the process is that your customer will get an email when they've made payment through Stripe. And if you're working through WordPress, there's a chance that the WordPress system that you're using and the server may not deliver your email. And so you can increase the chances that your email will be delivered in the purchase process by using a plugin. What we're going to do is we're going to write in SendGrid. What SendGrid does is it helps you to make sure that your email is delivered by using a server-based system that increases deliverability. So what you're going to do is install and activate the SendGrid plugin. Now you'll notice that we are going to click the activate button because SendGrid is already installed on this website. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to click activate, and again, if you don't have it, you're going to have to install it first. Once the plugin is installed, you're going to go to your settings area. You're going to go all the way to the bottom, and then you're going to click on SendGrid. Now, in order to use SendGrid, you will need to have an account that will allow you the use of their server. And you're going to need to get the API from that account. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go to SendGrid. And you're going to go to sendgrid.com. You're going to click this button that says Start for free. Once you have your login and password, you're going to write in an email, and then you're going to accept the terms of service, and then you're going to get started. What you're then going to do is you're going to start by getting access to your API keys. You can do that with this Start button. You're then going to choose the SMTP relay. And what you're then going to do is you're going to create an API key. You'll then add the API key to your SendGrid plugin, and you'll then update your settings. What you'll then do is you'll send a test email. Once you have all the information in, you'll then click Send. You'll then verify that your email is sent without error, and then SendGrid will begin sending your emails, which will help you to increase deliverability for your customer emails. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Just as Stripe integrates with your page building system, it also integrates with most membership scripts. That's whether that membership exists on WordPress or whether it doesn't. In this case, we're going to use as an example Wishlist Member, which is a well-known WordPress membership script. And we're going to walk through the integration process of Wishlist Member and Stripe. And once you log into your Wishlist Member, you're going to come to this Integration tab. And once you do that, you're going to integrate into your shopping cart. So you want to come to this first tab. And what you're going to do is you're going to find your shopping cart. And in this case, it's going to be Stripe. And we're going to click Set Shopping Cart. Wishlist Member will then tell you that the integration is inactive. You'll then need to enable the integration by clicking this link. And once you have the integration set, what you're going to need to do is get your secret key and your publishable key, and then click Update API Settings. And once you have your API keys set up, what you'll be able to do is customize your products for usage with Stripe. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, whether it's through the cloud or through WordPress, you'll typically be using some kind of page building system. And most major page building systems integrate with Stripe. Now, in this case, we're going to look at the integration between OptimizePress, which is a WordPress page builder, and Stripe. And it works very similar to other page builders. And you're going to be able to do that by going to the Optimize member section of your plugin. And you're going to go to this link that says Other Gateways. You're then going to see that you're able to activate using Stripe. You're going to click this button. And then you're going to click Save Changes. When you refresh your screen, you should then see on your left side menu that you're going to have Stripe options available to you. You're then going to click Stripe Options. Now, the most important aspect of your Stripe connection will be your Stripe account details, because it will allow OptimizePress to talk to your Stripe account. And you'll need to go inside of your Stripe account to get your Stripe secret key as well as your Stripe publishable key. And if you plan to use your system to test, you are going to need to click this button, and then you'll need to also make your test keys available. And you'll be able to get the API keys by coming inside of your Stripe account and going to the developer section and then clicking this link for your API keys. You'll then have access to your test keys. You'll then need to toggle back to get your live keys to add them both to your OptimizePress website. Now, your page builder may vary slightly, but the most important aspect will be you're being able to get access to your API keys to tie them to your page builder. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. You can also integrate Stripe with form builder, such as Wufoo, which allows you to build forms and then embed them into your website, and JotForm, which does the very same thing. In this video, we're going to use JotForm as an example of the kind of form builder you can use, and then to take Stripe as your payment at the end of the information collection session. And if you go to JotForm and you look to your applications, you're going to see that there is a Stripe integration. And all you need to do is to click this button that says Stripe Integration. What you're going to do is you're going to click Add to Form. Now, before you begin working on the individual form, you'll need to connect your JotForm with Stripe. And so to do that, you're going to click this button that says Connect with Stripe. You're then going to authorize Stripe to work with your JotForm. Then your Stripe will then be connected. You can then click Continue. You're then going to need to create a new product inside of JotForm. And then you'll save your product. You can then X out of your JotForm, and then your form will be ready to use inside of JotForm. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. In this video, we're going to take a look at one of 3 ways that you can take mobile payments using your Stripe account. Now, in this case, we're going to look for in-person payments with Stripe. What you're going to see then is you're going to see one result. What you'll then see is one result, and you're going to click the Get button. You'll then download the plugin, and then you're going to click Open. What you'll then do is you will then click the Connect with Stripe button. You'll need to sign into your Stripe account. You'll then allow the payment app to connect to your Stripe account. You'll then select one of your products. You'll click Add, and then you'll click Next. What you'll then be able to do is you'll then be able to write in the customer's card number in order to complete the transaction. And in this way, you'll be able to take a Stripe payment using only your mobile device in person. Now, this is one of 3 applications we'll be looking at in order to do this function. You'll need to choose the application that works best for your business. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, another mobile application you can use for in-person payments is called Pay Now for Stripe. And if you search your app store for Pay Now, you will then see Pay Now for Stripe. We're then going to click the Get button. We'll then download the app to our mobile device, and then we'll click Open. You'll want to read through the privacy policy as well as all of the disclaimers before you choose to go forward with this application. Once you have the app installed, you'll then need to sign into your Stripe account through the application. You'll then need to give the app permission to connect to your Stripe account. And with this application, you have a little more flexibility. You will be able to use an amount you designate on the spot. Once you have your charge settled, you'll then be able to write in the card number in order to charge the customer's card. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this course, we're going to look at how you use Payment Gateway, Stripe.com within the context of the kind of everyday uses you might experience in your online business or the online portion of your business. We'll look at integrations with WordPress, as well as how you'd implement Stripe using mobile devices so that you can take in-person payments. We'll look at the third-party automation tool, Zapier, as well as how you'd integrate Stripe with page building systems such as OptimizePress. We'll also look at membership site integrations with scripts and plugins such as WishListMember. So we'll start the process by taking a look at how you'd set up Stripe for subscriptions, as well as taking Stripe for donations if you are a nonprofit. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, of the three applications, the only one that Stripe has on its website is called Charge for Stripe. And if you click on their extension partners and you click Learn More, you're going to be taken to this site, and then you'll see that Charge for Stripe actually is a mobile application. And you can get it on the Google Play Store as well as the App Store. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to the App Store to look for Charge for Stripe. And you'll see the application in your App Store. You're then going to click Get. You'll then download the mobile application. Once it's officially on your mobile device, you'll then click Open. You'll then determine whether you want to have notifications sent to you. You'll then want to read through the terms and conditions in their entirety for this application. So once you've done that, you'll then want to click I agree. Then you'll want to determine your currency. Once you've done that, you can then click the blue button that says I agree. You'll then need to create a PIN for your account. And then you'll click Connect with Stripe. You'll then want to sign in to the application. You'll then be connected to your Stripe account, and the authentication process will start. What you'll then do is click New Charge. You'll write the amount of the charge, and then you'll write in your card number and all of the other details for the customer that you're going to be charging. And you'll have a third application that you can use for in-person payments using your mobile device and your Stripe account. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now you can also integrate Stripe into the cloud-based service SurveyMonkey, which is designed to ask survey questions of individuals to gauge their response. At the end of the survey, if an individual feels as if they would like to purchase some of your time or consulting, you can add in a Stripe button. And to do that, what you're going to do is to go into your builder inside of SurveyMonkey. What you're going to see here is that there's an element you can add to the survey for payment. And you're going to click this Add button. That's going to give you a button here that says Connect with Stripe. So what you're going to do then is you're going to click Connect with Stripe. Once Stripe is connected, you can then customize the message that the individual is going to see. You'll then write in a description of what they're going to be paying. And once you have it, you can then click Save. You then have a form at the end of the survey that the individual can fill in order to place their credit card number in and for you to be able to take payment through Stripe. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. In attempting to integrate third-party applications with Stripe, you may have found that their selection was limited and that those applications that you currently work with are not available with Stripe. You can connect a number of third-party applications using connector Zapier, which automates the process between third-party cloud applications. And so if you already have a Zapier account, if you log in, you can type in Stripe to find out which connections work with the payment gateway. If you don't have Zapier, you can still go into their Zap integrations so that you'll see if the applications you're working with do work with Stripe. So what we're going to do is we're going to type into the search field Stripe. And what you're going to see at the bottom is you'll see all of the applications available that form an integration with Stripe. If you then type in the third-party cloud application that you currently work with, you'll be able to see how Stripe interacts. For example, we're looking at Aweber, and we have an integration where anyone that is your Stripe charge customer can become your mailing list subscriber in Aweber. So what we're going to do is we're going to select this Zap automation so that we can connect the two applications in an automated fashion. Now, if you have a Stripe connection through the API, what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to connect a trigger, which is a new Stripe charge. And we're then going to click Continue. If you don't have a Stripe account, you'll need to connect your Stripe account. You'll click Connect an Account. That's going to open up this pop-up dialog. Now, if you don't have pop-ups enabled, you will want to enable them so that you will get this pop-up, which will ask you for your API key. And what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go to your Stripe account to get your API key. One thing to note is that there's only space here for one key. So that means that you'll need the secret key and the live variant. Once your account is connected, you'll then click the Test button. You'll verify that your Stripe account is working. Then you'll click Save and Continue. What you'll then do is verify and test with one charge. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this first charge. And this will help Zapier to verify that your account is working. Now what we're going to do is make the connection. So what we want to do is to create a subscriber every time there's a Stripe charge. So we're going to click Continue. Now we already have our Aweber account connected. If we didn't, we'd need to connect our Aweber account. We're going to click Test. That's successful. We'll then click Save and Continue. Now what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to verify some information so that our connection will work. Once we do that, we'll then click Continue. We then want to send a test to Aweber. So what we're going to do is to click this blue button. Aweber will then verify that our test has been successful. We'll then click Finish. Once we do that, our Zap is turned on, and then every time we have a Stripe charge, that individual will then be added to our Aweber account. Now, this is one example of the kind of connection that you can do with Zapier. Each Zap is going to work differently, and each verification process will work differently. However, the result is going to be the same. It's going to be an automated connection that will be invisible to your customer, but yet give you the information and connection that you want. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, in the first part of our live example, we're going to start by creating a product inside of our Stripe account. And if you go to the products area, what you're going to do is you're going to click this button that says New. We're going to create the product name, and we're going to decide that it's going to be a one-time purchase product. We're going to work in our currency, and then we're going to decide an amount. What we're then going to do is we're going to place an image inside of this area. Now, as an aside, there is a size limitation on the image that you can place in this area, even though it is optional. Once you've done that, you can then click Done. Now, if you want to create and sell a variation of the product, you can add a different SKU. In this case, we can click Add SKU, and we're going to give this a different name. Once we've done that, we're then going to click Create SKU. So now our product is ready to sell, and what we'll need to do is we'll need an interface to be able to sell it. Now, if you do understand code, you can use Stripe Checkout in order to place the code on your website. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, one of the ways that we can configure our product to be sold is to use one of the affiliate networks. And we are now inside of JVZoo, which we have configured now to take Stripe and is now connected to our account. And so what we'll need to do is we'll need to create the product inside of JVZoo. Now, even though that product is already created inside of Stripe, we will need to have it created in JVZoo for their tracking purposes also. And so inside of the product creation screen, we are going to need to make sure that our payment options reflect that we want to be paid through Stripe when the individual buys through the JVZoo buy button. So we're going to click this button, then we're going to save our product. We're then going to need to get our buy buttons from JVZoo. That means then that we'll need to go into the action setting. Then we'll need to click on the buy button. Then what we'll need to do is we'll need to scroll down and we'll need to get the code. And then we'll need to head over to our website. We'll then need to place that HTML code on our page or inside of our page builder. In this case, we're pasting the code inside of a page builder. And we're now going to click Insert. And you'll see now that our button is then active, and then when the individual clicks on it to buy our product, they will be purchasing through Stripe. Now, the product tracking will happen inside of JVZoo. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, we're going to assume that one of the customers that bought our product decided that they wanted us to work with them individually. And so as a result, they will be purchasing services from us. And so to start the process, what we're going to do is we're going to invoice that customer. And to do that, we're going to scroll down inside of the customer area. And then we're going to activate the particular customer that we're going to be working with. We may want to add a note that this is going to be a customer that we're working with individually. And then we'll click Add Note. What we're then going to do is to come down into the invoice section and click Create Invoice. We're then going to write in information about the services that this individual will be purchasing. So what we have here are 4 units of our services and then another fixed pricing on our services. We're now going to write in a memo so that we understand what these services mean and so that the customer actually sees this memo. Once we have our memo written, we'll then scroll down, and what we're going to do is we're going to choose to email the invoice for the customer to pay manually. And we're going to say that this invoice is going to be due 2 days after the invoice is sent. We're then going to send that customer a link. We're going to give them the opportunity to pay, but only with credit card. Once we've done that, we're going to preview our invoice. And if we like the way our invoice looks, we're going to close it. We're then going to send the invoice. And our invoice is now sent to our customer. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.